Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has responded to Trump's 100% tariff threat, saying he will buy and build Canadian. Now, this comes after Trump threatened to impose a 100% tariff on all Canadian exports if Ottawa deepens trade ties with China. The warning follows a limited trade agreement between Canada and China, which was aimed at lowering agricultural barriers and expanding electric vehicle trade. Trump accused Canada of aligning with Beijing at the expense of US interests and escalated his rhetoric by suggesting the country risks economic harm by opening its market in China. Interestingly, Trump earlier seemed unbothered when asked about the deal, and this was before his war of words started with Mark Carney, who openly called for a united front against Washington's aggression. Canadian officials have not formally responded, but the threat marks a sharp deterioration in US-Canada relations. The tariff threat carries significant economic implications. The US imports roughly 4 million barrels of oil per day from Canada and relies heavily on Canadian auto parts, metals, and fertilizers. Most trade between the countries currently flows tariff-free under the US-Mexico-Canada agreement. North American supply chains have been disrupted ever since Trump took office in January last year. But economies are so intertwined that any trade disruption could severely impact industries across the borders. Now, Canada's outreach to China reflects a broader effort to diversify trade away from the US amid growing policy uncertainty. China, for its part, continues to expand exports despite slower global trade growth, supported by rising shipments of high-tech and industrial goods. Trade between China and US now accounts for less than 9% of China's total trade, down sharply from earlier levels. Analysts say tariff threats from Washington risk accelerating trade realignments in this year.